FatDag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, FatDag.
Cheers. I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 246. Always fun to hang out with you. It's Thursday night. We're recording this on January 10th. Tomorrow morning, got a very special, by the time this app gets out there, tomorrow's kind of a really big day. Got a major announcement. It's probably the most important day of the year. Many of you know, many of you don't know, but tomorrow morning, Janine wakes up. She's just 1 year older, so that puts her just a shy over 21. So we'll sing a big happy birthday to her in the morning. I want to make sure I didn't go much further without recognizing that. That's the most important thing in my life, so we go forward from there. After that, the Indiana Sports Corp has announced that the Indy Ultimate is coming back to Indiana. It's going to be about a 5 mile, they call it urban adventure. You run into Lucas Oil Stadium, you run into Bankers Life Fieldhouse. I haven't looked at the course, so I could be off a little bit. In years past, this is what they've done. You shoot a free throw, you kick a field goal. Used to run into the soccer stadium. And so you run into all the major Indianapolis venues. It ends up being about a 5 mile run. We had an absolute blast last year doing the Indy Ultimate. This year, the date has been released. It's June 29th. That's the date that they picked. I have already signed up. I've already committed my $41, I think is what it was. I have signed up for the 8:30 time slot. Now, I tell you, I'm not 100% convinced I can make it, but if I can make it, that will be the time slot I'm going to be in. I've already paid. It's non-refundable, so I'm going to work very hard to do that. I'm about a 95% sure that I'm going to be able to make that. So anyway, the Indy Ultimate, if those of you interested, I know many of you are, June 29th in Indianapolis, and 8:30 is the time slot that we've signed up for. So I'm trying to build a team, but if you registered already, modify your registration under the event, says event/employer or something like that. Just put FatDag in there and see how many of us we can get together, and maybe that'll help them link us all together. That's the game plan there. Anyway, episode 246 comes to you again live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Always fun to hang out with the crowd. You guys are great. It's a great before the show just to kind of get comfortable with each other and just say hello and welcome new members and people who are returning. And it's just such a great little community. Truly fun to be there. This very first email comes in out of Indianapolis. It comes in from Kacey, who's joining us live on Facebook. She says, "Hi, Mike. Hey, I've been hanging around the forums for the past few months, but I've yet to write in. A recent event compelled me to share about me and my why. I, like so many, have been overweight my whole life. I've struggled to lose weight and keep it off countless times as well. 5 years ago, I joined WW, lost 100 pounds, but couldn't keep it off. I moved to Indy, got a job, and the weight returned. Ashamed, I never returned to WW until recently. I understand now what my problem was. I didn't have a why. Sure, I can track points and exercise, but I never worked on me. Losing weight didn't solve any issues or help me like myself any better. I began again late October 2018 on what will be my last start date. This time feels different. I have worked on myself and I finally am at a place where I have made peace with myself. I actually like myself. My why came to me when I went hiking with my best friend in September. We ended up hiking in a quite a rough ravine for about a mile. There were times I wanted to give up, but I never did, and I kept pushing forward. I can do anything I put my mind to. I want to live a happy, active life. I want to be able to go on many adventures and not be held back even a little bit by my weight. I want to look and feel better in my clothes. Last night, I added to my why. My best friend and I decided that we wanted to go to the Florida Ren Fair in March of 2020. Florida is his home state, so this is a big thing. I want to be at goal by this time. I want to thank you, FatDag, and all the other wingmen for the community. I love all of the support and the place where we can walk through this journey together. I've lost 26 pounds to date, and I am on a roll. There is no stopping me, Kacey out of Indianapolis. Kacey, excellent email. I love it. Very, very, very cool. Congrats on your 26-pound weight loss. You understand this journey differently than many people. And so that is incredible to you to have that power and inspiration and that knowledge that you've done this before. Now, I understand the mindset, right? It took me multiple times to figure out that I want to do this long-term for the rest of my life. It was not an easy realization to come to, but I, like you, have also come to that. So I've lost and gained many pounds over and over again and quit the program altogether for many years. And that doesn't work for me. So now you are coming back from that same place, understanding the exact same thing, and down 26 pounds, you know you can do this. The fact that you lost 100 the first time, which is an amazing accomplishment. The fact that you did that proves to you now that you can also do it again. Nothing changes in that regard. So congratulations there. I want to touch base on this one sentence that really stood out to me. Ashamed, I never returned to WW until recently. I want to chat about that. And here's why. I believe that feeling is probably the most common feeling of all of us, right? Those of us who've joined multiple times, when we finally determine that we want to go back, it takes us many days to bring up the courage to go back. I think in some cases we're afraid the leader's not going to welcome us back. We're afraid there's going to be people in the room that are going to judge us for coming back. I believe that we fear so much that just doesn't need to be feared. So I want to just blow this thing out right now and just be done with that. And so all of you can just push it aside. I believe there's shame internally that we harvest when we miss a weigh-in or we overeat on accident or something happens and we're even up a pound or two and we just get to the point where we don't even want to know from week to week and we're ashamed from week to week. You got to get past that. There is nothing in this journey that doesn't relate to somebody else. Every single person who's done this journey has experienced this. One way, shape, or form or another. So to understand that there is shame in that, it's an internal feeling that I want you to push aside. I promise you, as a coach now, when members come back after being gone for a week or two or longer, I tell you, it makes me smile from ear to ear. I promise you, that's exactly how I feel when I see someone come back. I don't say, oh, here they come again, or, oh, look at that. I don't do any of that. I go, oh, that's so awesome that they're back. It's so awesome that they got to a point where they understood they're going to be doing this for life and they're back at it again already. That's the feeling that I have. So I don't think for a second there's any shame. And it doesn't matter if you lost 100 pounds and gained it all back plus some. That doesn't matter. What matters is you've proven you can do it. What matters is now you've proven you want to do it again, which means you have everything you need to be successful. You have a plan. You have a plan that works. You have a plan that you know works for you. You have a plan that you've been able to follow. You have a group. You have everything you need. So there's no shame in having all the tools available to you to get it done. Now, very cool. You started walking again in October 2018, went on this hike, which sounded like it was an amazing time, and you're out with a friend, just enjoying it. I think that's awesome. I think the piece that you make the most sense in your email is, I've worked on myself, and I'm finally at a place where I have made peace with myself and I actually like myself. Just FYI, that's what goal is. The scale has no idea. The scale can't measure that. Only you can measure that. So I'm going to give you a big congratulations for getting to a place where you take you seriously, where you like who you are, and honestly, nothing else matters. You can certainly love who you are, you can certainly like yourself, and you can certainly want to continue to improve. But you don't have to hate yourself to want to improve yourself. You can love yourself quite a bit and still wish to improve it. I promise you again, if you're working from a place of self-love and then improving, it's a much different journey than trying to work from a place of hate and then trying to improve. So get to the point in your journey, all of you listening now, get to the point of the journey where you've accepted who you are today. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't wake up tomorrow, down 50 pounds, down 100 pounds, whatever your dreams and wishes are. You can't do that overnight. You can wake up tomorrow happy with who you are, happy with the plan that you've chosen, happy with the direction that you're headed, and accept all of that. When you bring in that acceptance and you start liking yourself again, you start treating yourself better. When you start treating yourself better, you start acting better, and then you start feeling better, and it snowballs. That's what you want to do. You absolutely can put your mind, you can do anything you put your mind to. What I want you to put your energy towards is put your mind to taking care of you. Put your mind to putting you first. Put your mind to making sure that all your basic needs are met with self-care and love, and everything else falls into place. So last piece is you have a goal to be at goal by March of 2020. I would again argue that you're already there. Now, regardless of what the scale says in March of 2020, you are there mentally now. You're capable of enjoying that time. I'm a big believer I don't like setting hard dates with numbers attached to them. I don't like saying I want to be at my goal weight by such and such a date. I don't like saying I want to be down 100 pounds by December 31st. Because the reason I'm not a fan of that is I like setting goals on things that I can actually achieve. You have no ability to control what the scale is going to tell you tomorrow morning. You have the ability to exercise more, to move more, to eat better. Those abilities you actually have, and you can track those and you can measure those. So I would set a goal for, I want to track X amount of days in 2019. I want to work out X amount of days. I want to run X amount of miles. I want to walk X amount of steps. Something along those lines that you actually can track and measure is good. The fear I have for someone who says, I want to lose 100 pounds in 2019 is if you come up on December 31st and you're down 98 pounds, I don't want you for a second to be disappointed at all. And there would be no reason to. But if you set a hard, fast goal of 100, and I'm making your number up for you, but if you set a hard, fast goal of in your case, 74 pounds by December 31st, by March of 2020, and you come up and you're 70 pounds down from now, I think that's success. I think if you're anything, that's success. But if you wake up and you're tracking and you're still healthy and you're still loving yourself, celebration. If you love yourself, you got to enjoy the trip no matter who's there, no matter what else is going on. That's what I'm after for you. So, Kacey, very, very nice to have this chat with you. There is no stopping you. There's no stopping you. So you know you can do this. You've proven you can do this. So let's go ahead and just keep on with the things you can control, and we'll get it done. Thank you for writing in, for sure. It's a great, great, great job. Great email. Appreciate all of that. Out of Columbus, Ohio, Helen writes in. She says, hi, I became a WW Lifetime member today. I not only maintained through the holidays, I managed to lose another 2 pounds, which put me 3 pounds under goal. That's not to say I didn't gain a little from celebrating the holiday, but I immediately got back on plan and I lost it within a few days. I wrote in when I hit goal and probably wouldn't have written in again, but your podcast on January 5th asked us to write in if we're proud of ourselves, and that prompted me to write in again today because I certainly am very proud of myself today. I started WW on January 16th, 2018, it wasn't easy. I had a 3-month plateau, losing and gaining the same couple of pounds that tested my determination. But I just stuck with it. With persistence, I managed to lose 44.8 pounds, make goal, and now lifetime in just under a year's time. I think that's worth celebrating. It's so nice not to be self-conscious when getting dressed or walking into a room. I can't say that I've always looked in the mirror and have seen a thin person, but I'm working on that, and I'm starting to see the overweight version of myself less and less. I do feel different, and I'm more confident. Combine that with the more energy, the smaller clothing, and normal blood pressure. Those are fantastic rewards for that year of hard work. Without a doubt, it was all worth it. Anyone can do this with the right mindset. I hope my story is helpful to anyone just starting and questioning whether it's possible. It is possible. Take the good focus that FatDag sends you at the end of every podcast and keep it. Use it to hit your goals. You have got this. As always, thank you, Mike, for all that you do. Helen out of Columbus, Ohio. Helen, congratulations at hitting goal. Congratulations on lifetime. Congratulations on your normal blood pressure. Congratulations on having more energy. Congratulations on completely changing your wardrobe. How awesome is that? Congratulations on proving that it's possible. Congratulations on showing other people the path. Congratulations on your confidence. Congratulations on just completely changing your life. I think that's very awesome. And you absolutely should be proud of you. And this is exactly what I was hoping to get when I said, send me what you're proud of. The analogy I like to use a lot, I actually said it today, is kind of this new car analogy, right? If you've ever bought a car, new or a used one for you or whatever, when you finally, for the first time you saw this thing, you were a little bit surprised and it catches you off guard and you're like, that's the one. Right? And you buy it. And generally before then, you don't see too many of them. But as soon as you drive home, you pass that car instantly. It passes you 5 other times. And then for the next 3 or 4 months, as you have this brand new car that you're proud of, all you do is pass this car coming at you. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't realize there was 18 million of these things on the planet. Pride is the same way. And joy and success is the same way. And looking for the positive in your life is the same way. If you leave somewhere and you're happy and you're proud of yourself and you look for opportunities to continue to be proud, your brain will start seeking out more opportunities to see them. Your mind suddenly opens up and you're more capable of viewing them. If all you look for is the negative, then what happens is your mind does the exact same thing. It just continues to look for more negative things. Start breaking the habit of looking for things that you're proud of. And that's why I asked, send me what you're proud of. Because it starts the process to train your brain to start looking for things you're proud of. Many people, I'm sure when I said that, they said, well, there's nothing. I open up a lot of my meetings and I say, tell me what you're most proud of in the last 3 days. Right? That's not an easy question. But if I ask you specifically in the last 3 days, and you can answer if you're following along online, in the last 3 days, what are you most proud of? And that exercise forces you to dig into your brain and find something to answer the question. And it may be something that you didn't even know you were proud of, but now that I've asked you the question, you actually have to come up with an answer. And so that's that first step in the exercise, is digging in and finding something you can say, I'm proud of. I'll answer the question for me. I'm most proud of tonight that I'm getting a podcast out. Today was a very long day. It was from, I had a meeting in the morning and I went to work in the afternoon and I went to a workshop tonight. I came home and had a major production due for a sponsor. And then I wanted to get a podcast in. I've had zero rest since 6 o'clock this morning. The first time I'm sitting down now, but the first time I will take a break is as soon as I'm done the podcast. I'm proud of my commitment to continue to hold myself accountable to do this. And through all that, I ate perfectly today too. So I'm actually very proud of that. But so as you find things that you're proud of, then you start looking for more. And then you start looking for more because I'm going to ask the question again. And I want you to have a much better answer, or not better, a much quicker answer is what I want you to have. So Helen, keep up the amazing work. I'm extremely glad that you're proud of yourself, and that's the way this whole thing works. Having that little 3-month plateau in the middle, that was where the grit and the determination comes in, and you stuck with it with that persistence. Your words, you say, I managed to lose 44.8 pounds. I don't think that's the case. I think you deliberately did it. I think you finally figured out that this was important to you, and then you did it, and then you hit your goal, and you now are lifetime. If you enjoy this feeling, it's now time to preserve it. It's now time to shift your focus a little bit. Congratulations on crossing what I call the finish line of your weight loss journey. You're in for a whole new challenge at this point. You're in for a whole new race. Everything you now do is different from what you've had to do. So you now have to relearn something. Whether it's relearning how to adjust socially, relearning how to bring different foods back, or just relearning how to just accept the fact that you're no longer going to lose any more weight. That's not an easy decision either. I mean, that's not an easy transition either. For so long, all we wanted to do is lose weight. When that is gone and that's not something you're trying to do, you have to adjust to that as well. So it is a completely new version of yourself. Your mirror will eventually come around. Your mirror will quit showing you the old version of yourself. Your mirror will start showing you who you are. My recommendation always is buy clothes smaller than you think you need, because the smaller the clothes are, the better they fit, and it really helps show off every single bit of your effort. So congratulations, Helen. Very, very proud of you. I'm confident that your story certainly is helpful to anyone just starting out, because the words that you use are, it is possible. It is possible. Anyone can do this with the right mindset. I know that to be true. I believe that to be true. I believe that to be true for you. I believe that to be true for anyone listening. You can do this. I won't ever promise you that it's easy. I promise you that it's possible. Once you know it's possible, you get to figure out how to make it happen for you. That's what this journey is all about. Helen and I agree. You can do this. Take the right mindset. Get yourself in a positive frame of mind. Find the positive things in your life. Tell me what you're proud of. Tell you what you're proud of. Keep looking for them, and you will have whatever success that you're after. It's a promise. This next email comes in out of Houston, Texas. Mary writes in and says, hey, I have a question. I've been thinking about this for about a month now, and I'm thinking you might be able to help me. When I rejoined WW this last time, February 2017, I found your podcast pretty quick after that. I was determined I'm not quitting till I get back to lifetime. This was all because of your podcast. Well, it's coming up on 2 years or 24 months like you talked about in your presentation to the military. Is 24 months long enough to keep at it? I've lost about 25 pounds. The first year went well. The freestyle year, not so much, only about 3 pounds down. So my question is, how do you know when it's time to stop giving WW your money and move on? All I've known is WW. When I try counting calories, I feel so lost. Which app do I use? And I can't find a food, et cetera, et cetera. I've got 16 pounds to go, which will put me at a 40-pound loss, and I will be back at goal. Any advice would be appreciated. I'm so sorry for all you and your family have been through. I'm hoping to see you in Houston, Mary. Mary, thanks for that. Family's doing great, and I appreciate the kind words, so thank you for that. I want to hit a couple things here that you wrote down, but I'm not sure you read them. You got to the point where you said you want to get back to lifetime, and I assume that to mean back to goal, because once you're lifetime, you're always lifetime. That's sure. That's true. So you want to get back to goal. You're down 25 pounds in that journey. The second year, you're down 3, so you're down a total of 28 pounds in your journey back to goal. And now you're wondering if you should stop doing this because it's taking longer than you originally anticipated. So my question to you is, listen, I am not tied to a single program. Certainly, I am a WW wellness coach. That is what I do, but I believe every single program works. I don't care if it's keto, paleo, all carbs, no carbs, whatever. Every single program out there, the founder who founded whatever program you want to follow, that founder had success. And because that founder had success, he or she taught that to somebody else. That person had success. And that program grew enough where it landed in your eyes, your view. And so enough people had to have had success or else you would never have heard about it. So every single program works, period. No question about it. Now, does every program fit into your lifestyle? Different question. Does every program make it so that you can stick with it? Different question. Only those questions are you're able to answer. So whether you stick with WW or not is a question that only you can answer. The thing that I think is cool about the way you've asked it is that you want to get back to goal, meaning you were there before, which means you've proven that this program works for you. I think that's pretty powerful. I don't know that I would completely abandon something that I knew without a doubt worked. Sure, you're in this middle now where you're kind of trying to figure out what the timeline is going to look like, but what's your plan B? Right? I mean, if you want to start over on a plan B with something that's untested, that's going to take some determination and some grit. And if you want to go down that path, I will certainly walk with you as you do so. But I would much rather you walk down a path that you understand, that you know that you've walked before, and I'd rather you just take another step in that direction and see where you get. So I don't really have a good answer for you, I don't believe, but what I believe is that you have everything you need to be successful. What you have is you. What you have is confidence. What you have is the ability to know that you can do this. What you have is an incredible head start, 28 pounds down into a journey with 16 pounds to go. You're more than halfway there. So I would continue to build on that success. And I would say, okay, I can do this. And so, now let's talk about, in the actual program specifics, if you're going to say, the year of freestyle, you were only down about 3 pounds, I would just ask you to reevaluate how you're following that program. We know that there's many 0-point foods, and one of the common things I see is folks to do very well, loading up on 0-point foods for breakfast, 0-point foods for lunch, 0-point food for dinner, and using all of their points for foods that they are still been addicted to, that they can't quite break the addiction to. That's not the recipe for success. So you kind of have to understand that we are still trying to modify some behavior. So if your version of freestyle is allowing you to continue to eat the way you used to eat, and it's not working for you, then that's where maybe a readjustment ought to come in. But so I think what you got going for you is an incredible amount of success. I think what you have going for you is you have a community who understands you, and I think you can do this no matter what program you choose. So the different calorie counting. Here's an interesting thing about calorie counting. And it works, right? Sure, calorie counting works for many people. But the difference between what I think WW has going for it and with the difference between that and straight up calorie counting is if you're calorie counting and you have, let's just say for math numbers, you have a 2,000 calorie budget for the day. And at 10 o'clock at night, you've eaten 1,900 calories and you have 100 calories left for the day. And you want to eat all your calories, and I hand you an apple, which is 100 calories or so, and I hand you a cookie, which is 100 calories. At 10:30 at night, no one is picking the apple with their last 100 calories. So what I want you to do is understand this program is designed to get you to think. The program is designed to get you to modify some behavior, because that foundation of a healthy eating pattern is what's going to completely change your life and solidify this. That's what you're after. You're after a complete change, and it's difficult to understand that change is going to be hard because we're comfortable in our own skin, and I've got to push you out of that comfort zone to get to a new you, a new place that you may or may not have been before, and that's freedom. That's freedom of ever having to think about this again, because mentally you're confident. Mentally, you're at goal. Mentally, you know that you're unstoppable. And I promise you, doing a lot of promises on this episode, but I promise you, when you understand that you are unstoppable, that's when it turns into be truth. And that is when you celebrate. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com, click on the WhysAdvice podcast link, send in your celebrations, send in your comments, your questions, send in what you're proud of. I'll work it in as part of the show. You can email in at onair@fatdag.com. I want those emails to come in celebrating because I want you to be absolutely proud of what you're doing. I want you to start looking for opportunities to continue to prove yourself how awesome you are. Share them with us, share them with the community, and other people will start looking for opportunities for them to be proud of themselves as well. That's what it takes to change your mind. That's what it takes to change the community. And that is what it takes to change the world. Folks, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Thank you for listening to the WhysAdvice podcast. Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit FatDag.com, click on Become a Patron today.